So this one hasn't been drove in a while, and I'm sure that one you have hasn't drove forever, so or hasn't at all. Plunge line, your one driving line here. Stirrups are tied together for when you end up going through there. But first, just snap it to the offside D, and just whether it's an English saddle or whatever, doesn't matter, or a surcingle, but get him to where he's comfortable just cruising around you and not kicking or spooky about the rope being right there, which is why I recommended putting him in a solo rig first, just so he's soft and comfortable about that right there. Let's get to that. Now you're going to get him driving good with a lot of turning. Depending on how fast you can progress with this, it might take a few days. But getting him where he's cruising around, and you can go about anywhere you want to go. And make sure that you can roll him back, and he doesn't stay stiff when you roll him back. He actually has a lot of bend here. Because you got riding, because he's got kind of a pull in him, you want to push it, you want to pressure him to the point that you can set him up to fail a little bit and make him think through it. Pull him around at a little bit of speed. You can be a little tough on him and make him have to really deal with getting his head taken away. And he'll just get softer and softer about it like that, but you want to make sure he stays soft all the way through the turn and doesn't want to prop and get stiff. And then, once he's solid driving, you've done all your homework and getting him where you can walk, trot, canter, steer him all over wherever you want to. The next thing you want to make sure is that you can make him get to a one rein stop, and that that's all he just hunts that stop. So you're just going to drop the outside line, take his head away, and he needs to stop and stand and stay right there. This full, when he does that right there, just keep the pressure on him. And he needs to not whip his head. He needs to just fold up and give to you and wait like that right there. And you can just go set him up again. And you'll get him really good at it. You can get him where he can handle it a walk, trot, and canter. We went right the last time. I think I'll take his head away around to the right again and see if he doesn't whip it to the side. I'm going to roll him back into the fence like that. Way better, way smarter. Now can I take it away and have him just stay still without that little whip? That's what you're looking for right there. Hopefully got him settled in enough and you drove him enough that he isn't trying to overdo, just kind of walking around and things are soft. And then you can start putting some little pressure on him as far as backing with the driving lines. If he doesn't want to back up with him like the work you did in the arena up there, which that work up there will really help. That was good. Instead of just kind of a direct pull, more kind of take his head to the side a little bit, keep a feel of the outside rein though, and just kind of break him loose like that. It's okay if he's bent. And then you can just unwind him, walk him out of it, He'll get to the point where so one more time, I'm just going to walk around behind him. Mouse, soft, pretty flexible. And then instead of just stopping and pulling directly and asking him to just back straight up, I'm just going to take him around, then outside rein, back him up, walk him out of it, go the other way. Take him around, outside rein, bend him if he walks forward, back him up. That's all just stuff to get them to move their feet and stay flexible and not just lock their jaw and freeze on. Okay. Now I'll just carry it over to with rein. Okay. So now he's backing with the driving lines, he's backing with the pole out in front of him, he's backing with me poking him in the cornet bands. Everything's way more freed up. He's just thinking that when he feels pressure here, it's okay for him to move his feet that direction. And now I'll take and that one ring stop and folding up and not ever being able to brace. And now I'll take that and then just play with him on the same kind of stuff. You can take his head away to one side. I'm going to stand with his head away to one side. And then you can play with that outside ring too. And just keep, it's not even how far he goes back, it's just the fact he's moving his feet and thinking back. Always bending him first, and then more one ring than the other. Doesn't matter if he's straight, you can straighten him out later. And then when you go to finally get on him, you don't feel so vulnerable. You're really worried, you're really nervous about them, you stand on the side of them, so if there's any chance that they're going to flip, you can get away. You take your head away to one side like that, break them loose. Take a step back. That's golden. That's like just one step like that's enough. And now, finally sitting on him, it's time to ask him to back from up here. Last thing I would think about is just getting him to back. I just take his head away like that, bump him with this leg, your left leg, get him to untrack, 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 then take a feel with both. Gives you a step. That's it. And we're going to go up here again. Take him away. Untrack him. This is all stuff that's really hard for him to rear. We've got his head away. His head away. Soft. Take both reins. Get him to rock back. Work the other side. Put his head away. Head away. Get free. Take both. keep doing like this, all of a sudden, 1 or 2 steps is going to turn into a bunch over time. If he roots on you, just go back to the, if he tries to root on you, just act like you're taking his head away again to the same side. Tries to root, get away the same side, keep it bent like that. There, that's what I'm looking for right there. He's got a bend in it. Now, if you've done all your homework and you've got him where he's backing with the driving lines and he's backing with the log out in front of him and poking his cornet bands, and you can pull his head around and break him loose and he'll rock back for a step or whatever, and if you've gotten to the point too where during those stages you're just like, whew, he's gonna flip, or he just can't handle it, then it's definitely time to tie his head around and make his life a little tougher. And I would just go, you always want to tie them around so that there's no way they can pull their head straight and then come up. So they're always tied around to the point where you want them literally chewing on their stirrup and breaking loose. Sometimes you can get away just by flexing them around like this. Other times it's better off to tie it and then hook them. But you're just gonna come around here, tie him off, and let him deal with life. And he needs to be really comfortable moving when his head's tied around. I wouldn't do this with a cavesson on him. I would let him open his mouth and work his mouth through all this stuff. Just snap a bit with a hobble strap on it so it can't run through their mouth. He needs to be able to handle a little pressure. And his answer always needs to be, if you give him a break and he gets to stop, his answer needs to be that he's going to fold up and stop relax. Right there, like that. And then he gets that on both sides and really break him loose like that. Go back and just keep plugging away. Before you've tied him around, you've got him really just buttery soft laterally like this. But just because he'll do it to one side, obviously, might not do it to the other. Tie him off. Put a little pressure on him. Let him sort it out. He's standing square and he's really good and soft. It's a big reward to come up and head on him. Release him. He'll be smarter.